Rockery here, locked and loaded, ready to unleash a little bit of that old-time savagery on the guitar and whatever else might transpire. We got Dylan James Koch on his drums. He's gonna pound it. He's gonna slap it. He's gonna tickle it. Wait a minute. All these things are gonna happen. I'm just gonna share this real quick, folks. Don't mind me. There's a little bit of phone business that needs to happen before we engage in some sweet, sweet conversation and some gittering and conversation and convo, if you will. I'm gonna share this over here. Pow! I'm gonna share this over there. Pow! There we go. Boom. Pish. Pash. We did it. We did it. We did what we had to do and did it. What? We did it. Hey, Kurt, what's going on out there, Daddy-O? What are you up to? You down there in Texas? Texas. Kurt's down there in Texas. He's down there in Texas. Kurt's down in Texas. He's eating barbecue. Kurt's down in Texas. Why not me and you? Because of the inability to travel right now due to a pandemic. Oh, Lord have mercy. I'd really like some barbecue. Can you dig it? That 57 up a little bit. Yeah, get it. I get it. I get it. Oh, there we go. Oh. Boy, it's a little boisterous now. How's everybody doing out there? You all right? Can you dig it all? Will you dig it? What's going on out there, U-Haul? What a delicious beverage I got right here. A delicious beverage, ladies and gentlemen. It's good for you. Caffeinated refreshment. Greetings from Austin, Texas, says Spider. Spider Logan. Spider Logan in Austin, Texas. Spider Logan in Austin, Texas. Sorry, it seems to be a theme in E today in Texas. Texas. That was a medley of sorts. First tune was a little thing called JSK from the acoustic record, and then I did a little tune called Holy Grail, actually. I don't have an acoustic version of that, but I'm thinking about recording one. Can you dig it? This is my Martin 0028 with the factory installed Fishman Matrix Infinity pickup and preamp going into a Loudbox Performer by Fishman, a glorious amplifier. Got a little verb on there, maybe a little bit of slapback, and it just has an SM57 in front of it. It's going through this, the glorious Tascam Model 24, which Tascam set us up with. Thank you, Tascam. It sounds glorious. And then going into the computes, and then off into the world. Frank asked, do I compose on the acoustic or does it vary? It does vary. Sometimes I come up with something in the acoustic and it ends up on electric. Sometimes I come up with something on the electric, ends up on the acoustic. But it's kind of a, you never know. Kind of a little bit of this and a little bit of that. Can you dig it? Can you dig it? And of course, the 0028 is the more of the it's the shorter scale version of the OM variety or the orchestra models. The OM28 is going to be more of a longer scale. And I wanted a 000 because they just get a little bit more of a bottom sound, and it's easier to swiggle those strings around a little bit more. The low end and the swiggly of the strings. Can you dig it? Whoa, did you hear that? Thunder. Thunder! It's shuffle time again. It's always shuffle time for me, I think. Just like that. Mm-hmm. That's a song called Dirty Old Bee. What else do we call it? Night Owl Now. Well, I'm a night owl now. Lord, I'm a night owl now. Paul Barrera from Little Feat. Bless his soul. He sings that on my record. It's a tune I wrote with John Seeger back in the day. That's a record on that record is called Plays Well With Others, and Paul is on that record. And he sings that one, as a matter of fact. Ooh, yeah. All right, I think I'm going to switch over to electric guitar at this point. All right, sounds good though. Matrix Infinity from Fishman, that's the pickup that I'm using on this one into that Loudbox Performer amplifier, and I got a SM57 in front of it. That's all that we got going on here. It sounds good. It sounds good. Oh, yes. I'm going to play Mr. 335. I've been enjoying this guitar as of late. I used to play 335s all the damn time. This guitar is from Gibson Memphis, and it is the 50th anniversary 63 ES335. Is it Genia? I don't want to say your name wrong. First I thought it was Gina, but it's Genia, right? Am I right or am I right? A frequent friend of ours here on the Inner Google. She said she pre-ordered her Dirt Spider t-shirt, and I think it should be magnificent. Do you think you should put a picture of the spider next to the toilet paper? You know, there's always time for a little bit of artistic modifications. No, we will not be showing the triple play today, my friend. We're just doing some Fluence pickups and that Matrix Infinity pickup. Can you dig it? So these are the classic humbuckers on this bad boy. Just for giggles and kicks and giggles. Play something on this, and then I'll grab the other guitar without the Fluence pickups, and you can hear the difference. Genia. It's a beautiful name. What's great about it, you turn the volume down, don't listen high. There's a second voice in these bad boys. If I grab this tone control over here, pop it up. Major third in there for a minute. This is the second voice of those pickups. The neck pickup. voice. That's the first voice now. Monday Concarna, you are correct. Now, just for the heck of it, I'm going to grab this 335. This is an 80s 335. This is just like the one I had stolen back in the day. It's my buddy Carl's. He's letting me manhandle it. The pickups are a little microphonic. And this, of course, one of the problems of these types of pickups. So here's the neck pickup. Turn the volume. It's a little mustier. Put a little heat on it, gets a little microphonic. Hear that? Drastic difference. Not that the other one isn't cool, it's got its place, but as far as, you know, versatility and of course not having the microphonic. I used it the other day in our live stream, and I turned that pickup on and I put a little heat on and all the yeah, there is more focus. You are correct, Mark. And the red one is definitely brighter. There's no question about it. Oh, we haven't done a little stepping out in a while. dig it. Guitar sounds good. That's all I'm going to say. It's classic humbuckers. Doggone it, they sound good for the kids. Good, clean fun for the kids. That's a fun one, Diggity Dog It. That's a fun one for the kids. The kids all over the world. Good, clean fun for the boys and girls. Oh, I got the super duper cam up again. Frickin' cord always getting stuck in there. It's like the only place the chord could go to cause me trouble. It finds its way there. Hours and days, ladies and gentlemen. How's it going out there? Y'all all right? Y'all all right out there in the world of the intergoogles? We're having a good time here in the beautiful place known as Orange Room. In an orange room. Well, all right. Well, all right. Oh. I'm going to grab a little guitar right now known as the Reverend Gristlemaster, my signature guitar, with my signature Fishman pickups on it, ladies and gentlemen. Fishman Fluence Classic, no, Fishman Fluence Gristletone pickups for Telecaster. In this instance, they're on this Gristlemaster guitar. It is important to hydrate today, Gene, absolutely. Because it is hot out there. Hot time, summer in the city. That all happened. It is Blucifer. You are correct. That's the color. Oh, Robert's asking about the tunes that we did on Saturday night. We did that. Yeah, that's a little tune called that Toby came up with called Brushes. And I came up with a little. Time for some more heat. Yeah. It does look kind of white, doesn't it? an old riff of mine from back in the day. It's called Death of a Bassman. Because I was using a Bassman amp when I first recorded that song, and it blew up. And what are we going to call that song? Oh, Death of a Basement. Death of a Basement. Death of a Basement. Originally it was a shuffle tune, because we had been doing Stepping Out, which I did earlier, and I thought, we need our own Stepping Out. So I came up with this tune with just like a... So then I thought, well, it was kind of like I call it the rock cha-cha. And then I started messing with more of this kind of it had an odd beat in there, so it was the weird time signature. It was like, it was messed up. So then I just wanted it to be straightforward. So that's what I've been doing, just straightforward. Before was that's an extra beat in there. I just like that. That's new too. Pick on the E string, and then middle finger on the D string, and then ring finger on the G string. What's the mysterious chord at the beginning of Hey Bat? Jay, you're a rascal. It is a minor major 7. Play it down here. So it's like... up here. Yes, can you dig it? It is kind of like a Jerry Reed banjo roll, yeah. Too. Oh, okay. Dylan is off for our last 10 minutes. We usually do a call or a question situation. That is the James Bond chord. You are correct. Let's see what we got here. Back out to the... There we go. Was I inspired by Hank Garland? Not a whole ton, just because I didn't have a bunch of the recordings. The one or two that I had, I did pilfer what I could. Tom and Lisa ask, hey Greg, what is the difference between your signature amp and the PRS Doug Sewell amps that you have played? Well, the Doug Sewell amp I had of a Paul Reed Smith was I had an HXDA, which was like a old Plexi Marshall. So it did that thing really pretty cool. The thing that my amp does is that you can get it to be clean and have that whole clean thing happen, add just a little bit of doit, and then go over to the lead sound and have it be a little bit overdriven, and then add a little bit more driven, and then add the OT. So it's just way more versatile. Sound-wise, it's more versatile too. I'd like a smoother low end and the high end. It's just more of a focused tone to me. I mean, their amps sound great. Doug makes great amps, but for me, for all the different things I want to be able to do, it kind of does everything I need to do. Plus the reverb's on board, and of course the delicious. That's correct. The Hendrix Dwayne Allman amp. You are correct. I did use it on. If you listen to the original recordings that I did on the Unrepentant record of Sweet Tea, Welch's Grape, and Dirty Old Bee, which is the Night Owl Now instrumental version. On Unrepentant, I'm using actually a Les Paul straight into the Doug Sewell amp, the HXDA, and a reissue Bassman, just kind of into both of them cranked, and just use the volume knob on the guitar to go from clean to dirty. That worked well on those recordings. I tried to double that formula when I tracked some stuff from Plays Well With Others, but it just didn't work. Anyway. Can you dig it? Let me just kind of show these pickups again as we got. So folks, there's a little button, of course, right where this freaking cool microphone is. I'll go like this so you can see it, and I'll go like so. There we go. So this little button right here, ladies and gentlemen, allows me to go between this sound and this sound. So typically, like if I'm doing a tune like my tune Sweet Tea, which we did the other night, usually I'll keep it on the regular pushed out, regular first voice. Get that nice glass on the top. Second time through the melody, I want a little bit more, slightly more meat. I'll press that button in again. Part of the lead. From the amp. I press this button, I get even more meat. So those are all the different things that are at my disposal with the pickups and with the amplifier. They allow you to get all the sweet filth and delicious cleans as well. Do that dissonant chord bending thing that you did at NAMM. I'm always doing the dissonant chord bending thing. It's all for the doggone kids. Hey, dude, what make of strap is that? That's a good question. It is a Jayco, Jaykyco. Is that it? Oh, sometimes my brain doesn't work. Can I buy a signed Gristlemaster? Well, they're all signed on the back of the headstock. But if you want a double signed one, then you'd have to wait till you come out to see me somewhere and I would sign it up for you. Yes, the P90 Toasted Turquoise guitar will be out probably in January. That's what we're aiming for now. Can you dig it? Can and will you dig it? Yeah. Well, you know, the tone knob on a guitar like that, just get some cool stuff happening. Yeah, you can do all kinds of different crazy stuff. What's the coffee flavor of the day? Still the Ethiopian, it's my fave. For rat's sake, I gotta practice that. If I don't practice that stuff often, that goes. That's that Chet Atkins stuff. You gotta calibrate that stuff or it goes to hell in a handbasket. As Chet said, he goes, if I don't practice for a day, I notice it. If I don't practice for 2 days, my friends notice it. If I don't practice for 3 days, everybody notices it. So those selections are a bear. They're a bear, diggity dog it. Oh, yeah. David Hackett says, cheers, Greg, from Battle Creek. Greetings to you from across the lake. From across the lake. Robert asks, are you always so hard on yourself? Well, you know what? Most of the stuff I play, when I hear it back, I find it to be repugnant, unless it's not. And then I'm like, okay, that stuff's good. There's constant editing going on. Most of the time I have to hear it by accident in order to actually think it's halfway decent. And then once I recognize it, then I'm like, oh, yeah, it's horrible. So that's what keeps you going. That's what keeps you keeping on. I suppose a sane person would corral a certain quantity of things and just practice and practice them so that those are always perfect all the time in their lights, and then they could keep it within that wheelhouse. That's what, you know, I would say that's what kind of Clapton does. He doesn't really stretch out of his comfort zone. He always delivers what he does pretty much on the perfs. It's always perfect. Even though he's improvising, but he improvises within a certain grab bag of stuff. And I always reach for different things because that's what's exciting. That's what's fun. That's where you're like, oh, what is that? What is it? What just happened there? You know what I'm saying? That's kind of where but it has its ups and its downs. For me, you know, every now and again you're like, hey, that was really good. And there's that part there wasn't so good. But for people who aren't familiar with the, you know, the absolute OCD kind of obsession I have about stuff, they're probably like, well, that sounded great. And I'm like, thank God you think so, because to me it sounds like that would have been better, and that's kind of this, and that's kind of that. But what are you going to do? It's crazy, stupid ego stuff, but what are you going to do? Do you still use your DGTM with other amps? Yes, absolutely. I use my Gristle King, which has the DGTM on it, and that kind of stuff. So yes, I do use that. If I'm not going to have my signature amp, I'll use that overdrive pedal. And I have a new little overdrive pedal that I kind of, it's not a signature pedal, I just kind of tweaked what they already have, but I did something with Andertons that's coming out soon. That'll be available. Dennis said you were mega versatile. Well, thank you. Most players are in a certain box. Well, you know, most people are smarter than I am, so they, they say, I'm going to pick a lane and drive. I say, whatever, let's just do whatevs and see what shakes. But, I always say part of that is because my, you know, my dad was a lawyer, and being the youngest of 7 kids, and none of them were musicians, my dad was like, "You're really going to do this?" You know. So he was. What was installed in me was a sense of panic? No. Phobia? No. Well, if you're going to do this thing, you better be as versatile and as good as you possibly can, so that you don't end up, you know, being financially challenged. I think that was the way. Well, of course, being a musician, you're always going to be. It's always a challenge to make a living, but that versatility has, shall we say, made it a little more easy to be able to conjure up different streams of income to be able to pay your bills and things of this nature. Can you dig it? What kind of neck does the Gristle Master have? You know what? I would say that this is a slightly chunkier Slim V that's on the Pete Anderson Reverend guitar, the East Sider. I wanted just a little bit more meat. So this, I would say that this is a slimmer, a little chunkier, but still a slim C neck, and it's got a 10-inch to 12-inch radius. Is that right? Yeah. Does it go 10 to 14? Or does it go 10 to 12? I think it goes 10 to 14. Yes. Andy Wood is a rascal. I'll be seeing him this week. Did you see that thing he posted of doing that Brent Mason tune, Pick It Apart? I told him when I first listened to Brent Mason play years ago, I think I pooped a little. And then when I heard Andy Wood do it like note for note, I think I pushed cloth again. Even though that's probably a little bit more of that potty talk. But the internet is a cesspool anyway. No, I'm just kidding. Hopefully that doesn't offend anybody. Did I ever spend time in the Nashville session scene? Absolutely not. I did not spend really any substantive time in Nashville other than going in, doing some shows, and getting out. Yeah, just I always wanted to have my own band, do my own thing. It just ended up working from where I was at. So I do sessions. I do. And I got hold of a couple of records I just played on. This Kathy Greer she's a blues gal. She lives up in, she's from the East Coast originally, but she's settled up in Door County, where they have this Steel Bridge. Is that what it's called? The big music festival up there. And the guy from Pat McDonald and from that duo back in the day. I'm sorry, my brain's frying. Anyway, they played on her record. And then my buddy Jimmy Vagley from Madison area. He has a great band called the Jimmies, and he did a record. Tony Bronigal produced it, and my God, my brain is not working. Good Lord. Marcia Ball is on that record as well, and so I played a slide thing on one of the tunes. Yes, we're all friends. You can speak freely. Well, thank you. How would you describe turquoise as a color? Oh, it's delightful. Probably wanted more than that. I have my Tosa turquoise. Are you aware of Tom Bakovic? Yes, I am. I've seen a couple of his videos, and he's magnificent. He's just played great. When I saw one, I was like, man, this guy is magnifico. And then I saw another one. I was like, yeah, this guy's great. But I don't spend a whole lot of time on the inner Google. Well, I take that back. It depends. Depends what I'm working on. But a lot of times I'm listening to older stuff, or got my head up my own buttocks, or watching other things that are not music related. Right, Grace? Mm-hmm. She says yes. My daughter Grace is here. What is your feet span from index to pinky? I have no idea. What is my favorite track on Band of Gypsies? I like them all, but certainly Machine Gun stands out. But Message to Love has always been one of my favorites. Power of Soul, or Power to Love. The title's always good, but. All right. Doom, doom, boo, boom, boo, doo, doo, or, you got your. Am I using a Univibe there? No, Sam, that is actually on my amplifier. That is on the signature amp I have with Koch amplifiers called the Greg. There's harmonic vibrato on board. All on the amp. Pretty doggone delicious. Andy Timmons is magnificent. He's always been magnificent. I've known Andy for many, many years, and I'll be seeing him this week. We've done gigs together. He's jammed with the band when I'm down in Texas. He always comes to hang out when I play down there in Dallas, we're in McKinney, Texas. And I'll be seeing him this week, and I look forward to it. We got a nice little conversation we had on the Wildwood channel. Which is also going to be on the podcast. If you're not aware, I do have a podcast called Chewing the Gristle, wherever podcasts are streamed. Check that out. And then they're released in video installments on the Wildwood channel, and that's called Wildwood at Home. And a bunch of different fellas, but Andy's one of them. Andy Wood, I actually did an interview with him. There's a multi-installment thing I did with Andy Wood that's on the Wildwood channel. I did one with Mark Lettieri, who I'll also see this week, and that's going to be coming out soon. There's one with Joe Satriani. There's one with Charlie Hunter, Robbie McIntosh, Johnny A. The Johnny A one just came out. That's a great one. And then the one I did with Brian Fallon, that just came out not too long ago. There's more. I mean, I know I'm forgetting it. I was like, oh, that's right, I did that one, and there'll be more. So check those out. Thank you. All right, we will see you cats soon. Thank you for tuning in. Just so you know, I will not be here on Friday doing my live stream because I will be down in Tennessee at that the Woodshed Guitar Experience with Andy and Joe Bonamassa and Andy Wood, Andy Timmons, Mark Lettieri, Brent Mason, and Joe Bonamassa and myself. So that'll be good, clean fun. I think there's a couple spaces left if people are wanting to participate. Anyways, thank you so much for hanging out. We'll see you later.